Hope is what we crave, an important attribute in cinema. In culture, courage is regularly mentioned as the attribute we want to see in central characters. This character was courageous in the face of definite defeat, or something like that. The definition of courage is the ability to do something that frightens one, or my favorite, strength in the face of pain or grief. Yet, courage isn't something on its own. In fact, literally cannot exist without a deeper driving force. That motivation to be courageous, to stand up and fight even if it scares us to death. No one is courageous for the sake of courage, and there are many forces that can drive courage. Such forces can include revenge and love, but there is one that stands above the rest, and yet maybe the least talked about virtue, vice: hope. Hope in film. I've noticed over the years that one characteristic prevalent in all genres of film, except maybe horror, is indeed hope. I mean, it makes sense. No one wants to regularly watch stories of likable protagonists or teams in which they get the snot kicked out of them, leading to tragic loss over and over. Every now and then, those stories can teach a lesson or be unique pieces of art, but at the end of it all, hope is something we as humans crave. This is why audiences flocked in the Depression era to theatres to escape from what seemed like a hopeless time, or why we are binge-watching streaming services 24/7 when life has taken a complete halt. 2019 was a banner year for this very attribute. Yes, heroism and courage were displayed by characters in film, but a sense of hope is what drove them. It's the belief that we can, despite the odds saying to you, no, you can't. There are 4 that really embodied this, and today I'll examine them in hopes of discovering why they work so damn well, yet are all very different, and in one case doesn't even come to fruition. Humbled Hope, The Two Popes. The Two Popes is a tender look at 2 men with different perspectives but the same goal: to change the world for the better. Anthony Hopkins, Pope Benedict XVI, knows it is time for him to step down. The story depicts Benedict's interaction and relationship with Jonathan Pryce's Jorge Bergoglio, building towards Bergoglio's election as Pope Francis. Both show humbleness and gratitude for each other, respecting their viewpoints and working together to set up the next season for success. The hope from Benedict's viewpoint is especially impressive. He's a man that has held immense power while being criticized for scandals that happened under his reign. Despite all that, he puts aside his perspective and instead puts faith in Francis, hoping that under him, the world will indeed be made a better place. Hope Deferred, Marriage Story. Marriage Story is an example of when hope is put in something that isn't in reach, which though sad is very true and real. There are almost 2 reactions to the painful topic of divorce: the one who is ready to go through with it, and the one who isn't willing to give up. The character that does the latter is Charlie Barber, played by Adam Driver. Barber suddenly realizes he truly does want family and to fight for this. Though that realization is too little too late, Barber fights to keep things together, but eventually settles with Nicole, played to absolute perfection by Scarlett Johansson. Feeling defeated, but with slight optimism about the future after the 2 reconcile as close friends. It's a painful story, feeling all too real as a portrayal of broken lives and worse, hope that never comes to fruition, leaving a sick taste in the mouth. Defiant Hope, Little Women. In Little Women, Jo March, Saoirse Ronan, embodies a defiant hope for her own future. Mirroring the recent world in which women have fought the societal norms, Jo dreams of a world in which she can accomplish great things, uncaring of the fact that society tells her no. Regardless of who you are and your background, there is consistently a feeling of fighting against some sort of system or rule that you don't fit in with. Jo doesn't succumb to the norms of the late 1800s America, even keeping her name when many other female authors would take on a male pseudonym, which helped women sell better and make more money from publishers. But she took a chance, swinging full strength, and comes out on top in the end. Though she did have to settle for her ending, in the book she writes, an impossible hope. Avengers Endgame. Maybe the most epic portrayal of a daunting story in which hope reigns supreme above all. The remaining heroes put all their chips into a single near-possible gamble: time travel, and taking the mad Titan and his army head-on in a cinematic experience of the ages. In a time where fantastical films combined with courage bring out emotion unparalleled to any other form of storytelling, Endgame did it with gravitas, concluded a decade-long story with a finale that left all other franchises in the dust, earning every bit of acclaim and dropped jaw. Endgame reminds us that no mountain is too high when unbridled hope is present, and the human spirit is alive even at its lowest moment. Hope is pure and transcendent in many ways many other emotions are not, which is why it stands the test of time and will continue to impact culture for the better. Let's pray we never lose it, no matter how hard the circumstances may be.